It's in voice chat. We have over 200 in global.
Yeah, but that's all right. It's expected in Telegram. I don't think I can announce it on YouTube, Facebook, sorry. But we can start now, to be honest. So let's just get this over with our with our structure of our AMA, and hopefully we get the docs batch at the end of this AMA. Can you guys see my camera? Is it like lagging or am I stuck?
Yeah, you're lagging massively, dude, on mine.
All right. 1 second. So what are you trying to figure out, Gareth?
I was just trying to get my screen to record at the same time, but I couldn't get it figured out.
But it's like I think it's lagging a little bit.
Telegram doesn't enjoy it at all. So exactly. This is a. So I think this is a Telegram.
When you have your it's when you have your screen record. I think the video chat is a little bit glitchy. So I'll just record straight from the Telegram, so we can actually start now. Okay.
Well, let's start with a quick introduction. I'm Gareth. I'm founder and chief technical officer for the Defverse project. I'm also the lead programmer for Space Guardians Online.
And I am John. I am also a founder of the project. I am also the CMO, acting as a CMO at the moment. We are actually, local from each other, me and Gareth. I live in Newcastle. That's northeast of England, which is always a little bit dull. The weather is a little bit dull, but what can we do? We live here. And I'm originally from the Philippines as well, if you haven't noticed, But we can move on with the actual structure of our AMA. So what are you going to expect from this AMA? So we've already made an announcement on our social media. Essentially we're going to be speaking about like our marketing and what the status of our project is as well. We're going to be talking about the IDO progress that we have, the partnerships that we've already secured and are trying to secure as well. And, hopefully as well, we can announce, we can give out some insights about our CX listings later on. And at the end, we can take some questions and we'll answer as well some, questions as well from the different community that we did. I think that was like 2 days ago from DNG. And then so you can just, at the end as well, you can just raise your hand if you have any questions and then we'll answer. Yeah, so we can continue. Do you mind explaining what Defverse is about? What do we do? What our vision is?
Defverse, it will try to keep this simple because I'm known to be a chatterbox. I always get pulled off for this.
Keep it simple, keep it understandable.
So basically, guys, Defverse is it's a Web3 platform for Web3 games. A way for players to join and participate in competitive and play for rewards or play to earn games within the Web3 space. The Space Guardians, the game, is our flagship title to apply to the platform, which is going to be used to develop our API. So it's a kind of a three-stage process, but we're doing them alongside each other. We create the game. We create the API for future game integrations within the Defverse platform. And that is as simple as John likes it. So let's just keep it like that.
But yeah, I can add as well. How did we begin as a project? Actually, I founded Defverse in 2021. There's a lot of difference between back then and what Defverse is about right now. To be honest, in our initial idea about Defverse, we just wanted to create like a staking platform where you can use our NFTs, which you can like stake into our website, in a decentralized application, and that's essentially it. Like you buy your NFTs, stake it, and earn money. As time goes by. But we've decided to actually take it to the next level where we wanted to create a game within our platform, which is, essentially our flagship for Defverse, our flagship game for our Defverse. If maybe you guys are, this game from, I think, from Facebook Messenger before, when we used to play this Everwing. I think that was quite a fun game before. That was the game that we wanted to implement at first as well. But we decided, why can't we make it more complicated? Why can't we add more fun and mechanics into the game? So we decided to make it as a 3D type shooter thing, MOBA style. Initially as well, we just wanted it to be like like a high score, like a leaderboard before. But we asked the community back then, 2022, if they wanted to stick with the single player or with the multiplayer. And the majority of the votes, they said that, let's dream bigger. So we decided to, okay, we're gonna push multiplayer. And that's what Garrett's been building right now for the past 2 years. He's been building the back end, the mechanics, the API behind our systems. And right now, it's pretty much complete. It's all about integration, and it's all about, just building the actual gameplay. So, yeah.
Love that John's actually tackled my questions. So to keep it nice and short.
I mean, you've been talking about this for the past 2 years. So,
yeah. I mean, I love the game side of things. I've got 20 years in games programming, and I studied this back in 2005 at university. So when I get carried away with describing all of the features that we're going to include in the game. So thank you, John. Thank you for taking that off my hands today.
Okay. Do you want to explain about what's after our IDO, the pre-alpha and all that good stuff?
So basically, our from the development side of things, guys, this IDO is really in place for one thing, and that's to attain development funds. I mean, right now I've been working as a solo developer on this project for about 2 years now, and we've come a long way. Like John said, from Alien Wipeout days to now Space Guardians Online being a competitive MOBA. It's the difference between $1 million pesos and 10 pesos. The complexity is at a different level altogether. So the project itself as a single developer is very, it's complicated, but it's also time consuming. What we wanted to do is we wanted to expedite the development process through through a fundraising campaign in the form of an IDO and later an IGO, which we expect to be around June. So what's set for us in the next 4 to 5 months is at the end of April, we should finalize exactly what we've raised. In May, we'll see the launch of the token on the SEX and the DEX. So we'll be launching with Bitmart, which we've already secured. I'm sure John was going to get into that later. We've got a pre-listing with Bitmart. I'm not going to give you all the juicy stuff because John wants to tell you something. So, but yeah, as far as the DEX goes, I think it's Pancake Swap, John, right? And
yes.
So once we get listed in May, we will be onboarding developers over the course of May, and hopefully by the end of the May, we'll already have a core development team, which will consist of a web developer, security developer. There'll be myself, of course, leading up the project, and we'll probably have 2 Unity specific developers on board. So the team will go from a team of 1 to a team of 5, which, the math says it will expedite the development process, 5-fold. So yeah, looking forward to that because it would be nice to have some hands on deck. And then after that, we're going to hope to get the alpha demo out to you guys around about late August, early September. At that point, there'll be a, arena. We will fight each other. You should be able to score leaderboards. We won't have the full MOBA system in the league system implemented by them because we expect that's going to take another 2 to 3 months. Once that's done towards the end of 2024, November, December, we should see the start of season 1, which will include the leagues, the payout system, and possibly the scholarship system, depending on how the development goes from the arena.
Yeah. Also, I want to mention this as well. There's a lot of confusion between Defverse and Space Guardian. So
Yeah.
it is the same project. So Defverse is essentially it's our platform. It's our decentralized application platform where you can list many games, different games from different developers, and also our game. Space Guardian is our first game that we'll be releasing to the public. It's a play for reward with a play for reward system. And after that, we'll be creating a different game within our platform as well. I think Garrett's got a lot of opinions about that, and Games has already decided to actually develop. I think we're going to be creating. I think is it like a card game next time for next game. And
yeah,
then,
so the games that we can do, John, is we can go very simple at first. So the Space Guardians is a big project. It was always meant to be a bit of a flash, a bit of, hey, look at what we're capable of. But then the platform is more proof of concept, proof of the API working. So what will follow Space Guardians will be a handful of micro games or mini games, if you will. Things like as simple as rock, paper, scissors, like Battle Arena, up to things like, Tetris Face Off, or, we've got to be very careful, obviously, which games we do, but you get the idea. We're going to go from something quite significant like a MOBA, which is, a big, big project, down to a handful of micro games, which we can develop in a month, or we can just onboard from previous projects. And that's the whole idea of Defverse. Defverse, as John said, is the platform. Defverse hosts the games. And what we aim to do as part of Defverse's vision is we onboard third-party development, we onboard third-party projects, or even little micro projects that we make ourselves in-house. And we apply our business model, we apply our reward system, and we use one universal NFT to access the play for rewards within this. And that is it's a two-part process. The Defverse API, the Defverse platform, has airdrops, lotteries, and raffles, and you can get them as long as you're a VIP member or you have an NFT for that season. You'll get access to these drops, which it's a cumulative pot of income from all of the games that have hosted, all of the games that are hosted on our platform. Now, you as a third-party developer, say you have a nice little spaceship game or a war game and you want to join Defverse, you apply to us, we give you our API, you adopt our business model, we apply Web3 and blockchain tech to your current game if it doesn't already have it, in the form of NFTs, token setup. And then what we do is we take a percentage of the income that you generate through these revenue streams, and we apply that to the Defverse fund, the Defverse prize fund. That prize fund is paid out cumulatively to anybody who was registered on the Defverse app. That is Defverse. The game Space Guardians is one game, and that is just an example of how we would use the API as a game developer to utilize Web3 tech and the Defverse app, app or the API.
Yeah. Actually, I'm seeing quite a few questions on our Telegram. We will answer that later on at the end of our near the end of our AMA. Okay, so let's go on with the deep dives of our current status as a project. So we have the IDO. Of course, you already know that. Most of you, we've already announced that everywhere. We have an IDO on the 12th of April. I think that's around 10 days from now. It's very near. So we are trying to prepare as much as possible for our IDO. And we've been talking to a lot of people. We've been talking to a lot of projects. We've been talking to a lot of call groups as well. And some of our YouTubers actually release their own content now, and we're still waiting for around 8 people. They have to release. Actually, it's in our contract for them to actually release the videos within 10 days before, and then 1 day before. So that's hopefully going to create more hype. I think Gareth, we've lost you. Okay. While we wait for Gareth, let's just move on from the next one, because I'll be answering this most of.
Sorry, I got disconnected there. I'm not sure what happened.
No problem. Okay. You there? So yeah, let's move on with our marketing strategies for the actual IDO when we're actually already listed on the Pinksale IDO. First of all, we're going to be contacting these trending trending charts like TextView and what else is it, like Bird's Eye, something like that. But you get the point. All those chart website applications, and hopefully we can make a deal with them and run some ads in their or even campaigns in their like in their application, so we get more exposure and vision from other people who's invested in other coins as well. And also one big news as well that we just recently found out. So I was browsing through Google about Defverse, and I happened to see our project already pre-listed on CoinMarketCap. And I can't stress enough how important that is for our project that we are already pre-listed on CMC. I mean, most people pay $5,000 just to get listed there, and their project is already live. And for us to get pre-listed on CMC is a massive thing for our project. So that means if once our token goes live, we'll go live on CMC as soon as possible, and that would potentially, increase the hype of the project early stages of our market. It is very big. So right now I'm trying to get in contact with CG CoinGecko, and I can provide a lot of information about our project, so we can also get pre-listed on their platform as well and see what they can do. Because before, if we are already listed in CMC, that means because they kind of work together, right? They're the same. They're the same with the leaderboards of the crypto projects and the tokens. So I think we have a high chance of getting pre-listed or even getting listed on CoinGecko as soon as possible, as soon as we go live. And that's massive. I just want to point that out. Any other marketing strategies? So if you're not aware yet, I'm acting as a CMO at the moment for Defverse, and after our IDO, we'll be hiring more people to actually handle the marketing side, press releases and all that stuff. But I want to talk more about the CEX listings, actually. So I've been in contact. I've been talking to Bitmart. I've been talking to CoinStore, and that's both. That's only two for now, but we are actually trying to make deals with MEXC as well. I'm in their group chat now, and I haven't replied yet, but I will reply later because we need to focus on actually closing a deal with CoinStore. Now, we've already closed the deal with Bitmart, and they should announce our project after IDO 1, after we made the initial deposit. Yeah. So I think that one as well is really it's massive for the project. Getting listed on a centralized exchange means small volume for our market, and more exposure as well. Obviously, they're gonna list us on their social media, Telegram, Twitter, Discord, wherever, and that's big. So CoinStore is actually a really good centralized exchange as well for Asian market. They target more in the Asian communities, and not as much as obviously here in the Western. But as you are aware as well, crypto in Asia is really big right now, and especially GameFi project, SocialFi project. And I think having a deal with this CoinStore and getting listed on their centralized exchange is a good thing, and it's a massive thing as well. Because they told me when we were speaking, they told us that they will list us on 5 what do you call it, like article websites. So for example, like Yahoo Finance, Forbes, or whatever, like you get the point. So they will talk about our project like that. They'll write something, and then hopefully that's that's a gateway to actually getting all of our social media verified. We already have Twitter verified, so we're working on Telegram to get verified right now. And it's just the process of it, because there's a lot of what do you call it? There's a lot of requirements basically. And as for Defverse as a company, after our IDO on, we will be applying for a business registration here in England. Well, somewhere
No,
in
not
England. No, I think,
not.
yeah, not, somewhere in UK. Not actually in UK, but in Isle of Man. There's the reason for that. Garrett can explain more. I don't know if you can explain that now.
Yeah, just very quickly to keep it. One of the big selling points of our business model, guys, is the fact that we allocate a huge part of our income to the rewards pool. Now, a lot of games don't do this. Even games who are very lucrative, like Axie Infinity, they don't. A lot of their income, or most of their income, if not all of their income, relies on the token strength. One of the principal designs of our business model was to make sure that wasn't the case for us. We needed to have multiple vectors of revenue stream, because we didn't want to suffer the same fate as Axie Infinity, where you have this huge market crash, the bear hits really hard, and then the project and the token and everything's dead. Now, it's inevitable. The token will take a massive hit in any bear market, but that's the whole point. The idea is that we survive the bear market through the lack of dependency on the token. Now, the token will still be at the forefront of our minds, of course. We'll need stability. We'll need to stabilize the coin through buyback and burn mechanisms and, other kind of contributions from our core, our reserve funds, which we will do in line with the current market and obviously the depreciation of a bear market, or the depreciation of the token that the bear market brings. My apologies. Got a tongue twister there. And so the idea was really that we took those revenue streams and from like Web2, from fiat currency, from non-token dependent sales, and we can take direct things like USDT sales as well as our token. Now, obviously, our token is one of our core mechanics of the token, and the utility is that you can buy our services, you can buy our cosmetics and other things within our game, and potentially all of the games on our platform, which is one of the main utilities of the token. But in times when that token uncertainty, or when when we do get hit by a bear market, we need to survive that, and part of that was through these other revenue streams which would support the project, and these other payment methods which would still bring the game custom, and we could give up to 40% of all revenue streams applied to the prize pool. And the reason we can do that is because in England, if we registered in the United Kingdom or somewhere like America or Philippines, we'd get hit with a lot of crypto tax. We'd get hit with a lot of corporation tax. In the Isle of Man, it's one of the very few countries in the world that doesn't have either. It has 0% crypto tax and 0% corporate tax. Now, I'm an Isle of Man resident, so I can apply to the business there, which we will do, and we'll register our business in the Isle of Man. So the only thing we have to worry about as a company is bringing players in and rewarding you guys. So we save 40%, and that 40% essentially is paid to you guys in the form of a solid rewards pool. And because we would already be liable for 40% tax if we were registered in another country, we can return that 40% to you guys at really no extra expense, because we would have had to pay that anyway, just for operating in the crypto Web3 space. So we take that, we strategically position our company and register it there in order to give you them rewards. And even if legislation does change in the future and, there is a tax applied, well, that's going to be worldwide anyway, right? It's nothing you can get away from at that point. So still, we're no worse off than we would be if we registered, there now anyway. So, yeah, that's how we're going to support that.
I mean, I think that's one of the main selling point about our project as well, is that we don't just support Web3, we support Web2 users as well. So you can use either a cryptocurrency to actually purchase our NFTs or to play our game. And you can also use fiat currency as well to actually invest in our project somehow. So there's a lot of people asking as well, is it free to play? And if you do the free to play, can you actually earn money from the game? Free to play, you can't earn any rewards.
Right, I'm going to stop you time out, John. Actually, John's wrong. Sorry, John. So free to play, guys. There are very limited ways you can earn. You can earn through raffles, and you can earn through airdrops, but that's the only method. The lotteries, the competitive aspects of the game, and a large portion of the airdrops and raffles are for our VIP members, are for our NFT holders. However, there are ways you can earn through, like, airdrops, which we allocate to the free to play community. However, they're nowhere near as substantial as those allocated to, the people who are actually paying for the reward. And the idea with that structure was that we still give a little back to the free to play community for your interest in the project, and potentially the money that you win or the items that you win would enable you to participate in future seasons of play for reward activity. And alongside our scholarship system, this is a big thing for this free to play community. We have an in-house scholarship system, and I could talk all day about this because personally, it's probably one of the favorite parts of the project that I've really invested in myself. But the idea for me was to give people, who may not want to or may not be able to invest in the NFTs or pay the $50, whatever it is, to play for the reward for that season, to give them an opportunity to be able to earn from somebody else's investment on a kind of an agreement. So we essentially, in short, we facilitate an agreement between a manager who owns assets and a scholar who's free to play. We match them together. We take a little fee from the manager for that, but we match them together. They agree a contract in principle. They both agree. We then retain that contract and facilitate the agreement. The season goes on. The scholar wins $500. The scholar agreed with the manager that it was a 50-50 split. We then, at the end of the season, in the 2 weeks that finish, the seasons are 8 weeks, and there's a 2-week facilitation period between each season. During them 2 weeks, we go through all of the contracts. We check how much the scholars won. We look at the division, 50-50 in this case. We take 5% 5% facilitation fee from each side as our fee for offering this service. And what you get as a manager is you get a scholar that won't get paid if he doesn't adhere, or they don't adhere to the rules that were set in the contract. But what the scholar gets, and more importantly, is security. Because we already know how it works in Axie Infinity and other games like that with scholarship systems, where the managers can simply just not pay you, and you're completely at the mercy of their own greed or, lack thereof. So as a scholar, you know that if you worked and you made $500 and you were agreed a 50-50 split, you're getting $250 because we, Defverse, are paying you that money directly minus a 5% commission. And the same side for the manager gets the exact same treatment. He knows he's definitely getting his $250 because we give that to him directly. You guys deal with us and we facilitate that. That's all I'm going to say on that, because I could go on forever.
Sorry about that. Because what I meant is like the play for rewards. Obviously, free to play can't earn the play for rewards unless they do the scholarship system. If they found a manager to
that's right. Yeah,
rent out their NFTs. But also, there's a lot of misconception. What is the play for reward? What's the difference between play for rewards and play to earn? There's a massive difference, actually. So play to earn, as you know, like a lot of games like Axie Infinity, for example. You play a game, you win, you get SLP, and you can claim it as soon as possible. Or I think is it as soon as possible? Is it after a week or something? But with our game, it's play for rewards, so it's based on skill. It's based on how you perform in the game, and then we don't just pay out. You can't just cash out anytime you want. It's every 8 weeks. One season is 8 weeks, and after that 8 weeks, we look at the leaderboards. We check the eligibility. If maybe somehow they cheated, or we do some cross checks there, and then that's when you will receive the rewards after. And depending on how depending on where you are at with the leaderboard, then you're obviously, if you're at the first place or the top 100, you'll get more rewards compared to the rest of the guys who, wasn't doing that good, like wasn't performing that well.
So the league system as well, John, just to with regards to especially Space Guardians, it'll be people in the upper tier that get access. So we have 9 worlds in Space Guardians, and they run off the typical MOBA setup, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, so on and so forth. It will be the upper 3 tiers that are in the eligibility bracket, and then 3 tiers will be they'll be divided. Obviously, in the challenger bracket, which is the top tier, that will only have a limit of X amount of players. So there'll only be let's say 250 or 1,000 positions within the challenger bracket. So if you aren't within the points, your points don't meet you, don't allow for eligibility into that bracket, you're going to be put into master. Master doesn't have that 1,000 limit. It'll have, a percentage. If you attain master, well, then you'll be in master until you get demoted. However, challenger is based on the top 1,000 players in the region. And obviously a large portion of our prize pool goes towards that. But there's a reason we have multiple ways of earning, because we do recognize that there are going to be some people who just aren't very competitive. They're not very good at the game, and they shouldn't really be penalized for not being good at the game. It's nice to reward people who are really good and competitive. Absolutely. We're all about competition. It's good fun. But those who aren't competitive or don't have the skills to be up there in the top brackets, you can still win by friendly tournaments. I mean, there'll be clan related or fleet hosted tournaments. People within your own little community can pay us a small service fee to launch your own private tournament amongst each other, and then put their own prize reward there. With us, we will host frequent weekly tournaments from different brackets. So, for example, we won't just host a tournament which everybody can enter. So you're going to get challenger players against, bronze players. That's obviously going to be completely unfair. So what we'll do is we'll say this week, guys, or on Tuesday at 10 a.m., we're going to have a 100-man tournament for bronze division players only. So only people within the bronze bracket can apply for that. And it'll be the first come, first served. Once you click it, you'll get put into a pool, and based on, we'll have other things like checking to make sure you haven't been flagged for cheating, of course, which is a different topic altogether. But as long as you've got a clear record, and you'll be prioritized to be put into that, and the first 100 people will get entered into that tournament. There will be a reserve pool, so when we go live and we play the actual matches, if people don't turn up or they don't respond, then we'll have a reserve pool, and we'll pull a player from that pool and say, okay, there's a position. Do you want it? You have 5 minutes to respond. So yeah, there is a system in place so that everybody gets treated fairly, but also the lotteries, the raffles, and the airdrops are pretty much available for everyone. So even as an investor who isn't going to competitively play the game, and maybe you have a scholarship and the scholar didn't win anything, even as an investor, you could still win a lottery, you could still win a raffle, and you could still win an airdrop. So that's another incentive for you to invest, even if you don't plan to play the game itself.
I mean, I think the lottery one is very interesting as well.
We have the millionaire lottery as well, John.
Yeah, millionaire lottery. That's the one I'm talking about.
So yeah, the millionaire maker lottery, in short, because it is basically, if you have a 4-star or 5-star founders card in any of the seasons, as long as you haven't entered before, if you've entered with the NFT, so I've got a 4-star card, I'm automatically entered into the next millionaire maker draw. What happens is every 4-star and 5-star card that hasn't had eligibility, hasn't entered into a previous lottery, will be added to this lottery. And once we have a small percentage of our fund gets trickled into this pool, when we hit $20,000, or in this case, 1 million pesos, when we hit 1 million pesos, we announce the launch of the giveaway. we'll probably have a 7 to 14 day period so that we can do some marketing, we can do some hype, maybe arrange an event if we're going to do it at an actual location, which will happen in the future. And we will basically then give away the prize either live on stream, or we'll give away the prize in an event where we'll announce the winner based on, you know, a random pick from all of those eligible who had a 4 or 5 star card prior to that entry, who hadn't already been entered in a previous Millionaire Maker draw. So yeah, a million pesos just randomly. That's,
you know, we can even make an offline event as well, create an event. You know, in the Philippines, because most of our community is actually in the Philippines. We can make we can, you know, create a convention or something, and then we can announce the winners there somehow. Because after the IDO, I'll be spending most of my time in the Philippines, because we will be creating our own office there, our own company office, which is very exciting as well. Most of our developers, most of our staff, if you don't know yet, are from the Philippines. And so that's why I will be in the Philippines handling all that, and Gareth will be back and forth, because obviously he's got family here. So that's what I'll be doing.
I'll be in England and in the Philippines.
And I really can't handle the heat in the Philippines, to be honest. I can't. Okay, so let's move on. Partnerships. So I can talk about that more, actually. At the moment, we've already secured, you know, some Web3 guilds within the crypto space, within the GameFi community as well, here in Telegram and Discord as well. We have secured around 10 YouTubers that will be rolling out their contents for the next week or so, leading up to our IDO. And for projects community partnership, you know, we are actually in talks with. We are still waiting for Sequoia to actually, you know, roll out their announcement with us. They have quite a few in lines at the moment, but, you know, eventually we will have our community partnership with them, with some giveaways on their trusted airdrop. Is it Orbler.io? I think that's the one they use, because we use Fastcon, they use Orbler. They are partners with them, and that would eventually increase our member count here in Telegram and all of our social media as well. So
I'm just saying that you guys who are actually asking questions in, I'm sorry, I'm getting Facebook messages, I'm getting Telegram messages, I'm getting Discord messages. We're recording on Telegram. Sorry,
we're not live on Facebook, right? Or in YouTube?
No, we're just got people asking in the chats because they know there's an AMA going on. So them guys might actually not be in the voice chat, John, but I think they're just watching from. They're dealing with the mods in the chat. So, mods, if you can just tell the guys in there who are asking questions and who aren't tuned into the voice chat, just tell them that we'll answer the questions at the end, or we'll answer them via inbox directly if we can't get to them in the voice chat. Right? Sorry, John.
Yeah. So I was saying that we are partners with few projects as well. We are in talks with more projects upcoming. Actually, we've been in a meeting for. A lot of meetings for the past 2 weeks or so, and it's insane. You know, there's a lot more. There's a lot more will happen in the next few weeks, since we are actually nearing our IDO. We will be doing a lot of giveaways as well, and a lot of airdrops with different projects, which we will announce. But to be honest, I think the most important part right now is actually the CEX listing, making deals with the centralized exchanges. So I'll talk about that as well right now, before you can talk about your development, what the status of Space Guardian is in Defverse. So for December, like I mentioned this in the beginning as well, but I'll mention it now since we've got, you know, quite a few people here, more people here now. Centralized exchange will list us around mid-May, I believe, but they will announce us on all of their social media. And that would eventually get a lot of people joining our Telegram group, and it will increase our exposure as well from different types of investors. So right now we are at the GameFi. Most of our investors are looking into like the GameFi project, but when we actually get listed on centralized exchange, it's not all about that. It's all about the volatility. It's all about the volume. And the good thing about the centralized exchange like Bitmart, they support tokens with tax. and the tax will help us a lot. It's not going to be massive. It's not going to be like 5% or 10%. It's only going to be like 2%, or even we can even, say 1. And that would eventually help the project a lot, like long term. And, we'll just rely on the volatility and volume of our trades and use that money to actually put more into the development and the increase of the progress of our project. Okay, so like I mentioned as well, we are getting listed on CoinStore and a big Asian centralized exchange. They are really good with actually helping out projects within the Web3 space. They do all the publication, like getting our project published on a lot of article website like Yahoo Finance and all those other stuff. I'm not sure. Like, is it Forbes? Imagine getting listed in Forbes and having your face in there, Garrett. that would be so cool.
Not sure they want to see my face, I'm afraid.
Yeah, but yeah, I think I can stop talking about that and we can talk more about developments.
Right. I mean, I've covered a lot about the development before, especially with where we are with the Space Guardians. In short, though, to recap, it's going to be roughly end of August, early September, where we see our alpha demo out. That should be playable and competitive. It may or may not be play for reward competitive. It's likely to be free to play competitive just to test it at first, with our play for reward competitivity being added probably around October, November. But if we can, during testing, if play for rewards is available at that point, then we will definitely. Of course, it would be silly not to include it. What we're working on right now is, of course, the mobile arena. We already have the back end. We have all of the infrastructure, the cloud network, and the anti-cheat toolkit. We have all of the developer tools. We've got part of the API built already. We've just got to do some really stringent testing on that to make sure it obviously passes all of the testing criteria. But with regards to the game, we're working on the Unity netcode. We've decided to go with the Unity netcode networking solution, just because network for entities is a big thing now. It's very new. It was released in the last 12 months, but it stands to be a big game changer in the Unity engine and essentially the multiplayer game space. Because it allows us essentially, without getting too technical for John, it allows us to basically have hundreds, sometimes even thousands of items and networked items on screen at once. Whereas the current ability, our current network solution only allows for maybe up to 15 to 20 players and very few projectiles. We want to make this very kind of, very fantastic. We want things blown up everywhere. We want lasers zapping everywhere. We want lots of things happening. And if we want to give you that experience and we want it to be that complex, we need to make sure that the networking solution we use can support it. Because especially when we look at later on in 2025, when we deal with things like clan warfare, we call them fleets in Space Guardian, but clan warfare where you've got 30 people fighting against 30 people in a kind of a real-time space, that's going to be super, super intensive. And remember this, we're planning this for mobile games predominantly, but we do have a PC version, which will be released at the same time as Android. For us to facilitate or even be able to handle that without dying, we're going to need to use something very powerful, and Unity's netcode for entities is the solution to that. It allows thousands of network particles or projectiles to be on the screen at any one time at a fraction of the cost that any other solution would require. So yeah, it's complicated. It's going to take a lot of extra learning and testing. But once we get through that initial teething phase, it will be fantastic for the project moving forward on the development front. And that was long-winded, but the app is very simple. The app will be developed once the Space Guardians Arena is available. There's no point making the app right now, the platform app, if we don't have the game to put on the platform. So it's Games Development Arena, get it out by the end of the year. Then we're going to have the platform app. We're going to test the API against it. And then by, I would say, probably mid-2025, Space Guardian should be almost done in its entirety as a core game, and possibly looking at the idea of implementing fleets round about summer 2025, depending on how the development goes up until then.
Okay, I think we should move on with the questions now. I think we have around 10 minutes, but we can extend that for sure. Do you want to open the chat, like the voice chat, and have people raise their hands, or do we just read from the chat and answer questions?
Well, I mean, if anybody in the voice chat's got questions, we'll handle the voice chat first, if you like.
Yeah.
If you've got any questions, guys, and you're in voice chat, just raise your hand. We'll deal with you guys first. And Ganonin wants to speak, so let's get him up here.
Let's go.
Hi, Ganonin.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
we can hear you.
I actually have some questions here. Okay, so the first question is, what are your strategies in ensuring the continuous stability and growth of the project over the next years, even after the upcoming bull run?
Well,
so do you want to answer that one, or?
I just want to mention, no one can actually prevent the bull market from happening. All coins will eventually drop, and but that will also depend on how you handle your marketing after the bull run. But as we mentioned, we don't just support Web3, we support Web2 as well, which will eventually, do something within our market. We plan to take a percentage of how much we make from all the revenue stream, not just in the Web3, to actually put back into our market, a percentage of that. And I think that will work really well with, how the bear market goes. So we can definitely do something about it, but as you're aware, bear market, every market can't do anything about that. It's just how we handle it throughout the bear market.
To add to John's response as well, we did mention previously that was the whole idea of multiple revenue streams, like the idea of taking multiple currency options, so that when the the bear market does inevitably come, we don't rely on the generation of income solely through the token. In fact, I've got to be honest with you, we never even put that into the equation when we did the original financial forecasting. We actually put it all on things like Battle Pass, vanity sales, VIP Pass, NFTs, scholarship fees, other tax systems, advertisements. All of these different revenue streams were what we generated our forecast on. It wasn't until at the end of, I wrote the new Git book, and when I got towards the end of that, I realized, I haven't even included token tax in there, and token tax is a huge part of our income. And the fact that we were already looking at 7 figures of potential prize pool without token tax just means to say we won't die in a bear market, because it was never forecasted to be in there in the first place. Just the token tax is completely additional. So, and again, because we're registered in a country where crypto and corporate tax isn't a thing, it's 0%. We save 40% on our total revenue anyway, which is what we're planning to give back to you guys, the player base.
Yeah, so our reward system, actually, we don't touch the tokens at all. We let it grow. We use our token. You can buy our NFTs and stuff, but we don't pay out we don't pay out using our token, which will eventually not kill the market. We won't see any massive dumps right there. We pay with USDT. So it's not going to impact our market at all when we do pay out people with our play for rewards.
Do you have any more questions?
Okay. Thank you. And by the way, that's a very interesting take. So yeah, looking forward to the growth of your project. So by the way, here's my other question.
Yep.
So if the project can promise one thing to the entire community, what would that be?
So I'm very, very passionate about the project. I know this is John's baby. Defverse is John's baby. It really is. But since I joined the project, I always said one thing: come what may, rain, weather, sun, hail, anything, I will be here until this is a success. I'm invested in it. In fact, truth be told, I haven't even been taking a wage for a good 12, 15 months from the project. I've been working on this completely in my own time. I work a full-time job up until now. So I've been doing this completely in part-time hours. And part-time, I still mean 50 hours a week on top of my full-time 40-hour-a-week job. So, you know, my schedule's been completely packed with that. It's been completely preoccupied. My whole life over the last 2 years has been preoccupied with Defverse and the progression of Space Guardians and the vision, working towards the vision. So I'm going nowhere, and unless something ordained takes me beforehand, I'm going nowhere, and I'll be here. You know, whether we raise, $100 million or we raise nothing at all, I'll be here until Space Guardians and Defverse, the vision has been realized. So you have that at least.
Very good. You should be here. Can't let you go anywhere, Garrett. You need to make this a success first.
Yeah, thank you. And yeah, looking forward to the growth and expansion of the project. So yeah, best wishes.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
No. Yeah. Any more questions, guys?
Yes. Hello, guys.
Hi, LJ. How are you?
Hello. I have a question.
Yes, sir.
I saw on the Defverse site, Defverse collaborate with Sequoia from the Indonesia project.
Yeah.
I come from Indonesia. I want to ask, what collaboration you developed with Sequoia? How do Sequoia contribute to the Defverse game?
No, it's mostly about community and partnership. It's nothing related to how our games work or how we can collaborate our games together. It's more of a just giving each other a shout out and, you know, having our community partner with each other and doing like, you know, airdrops, giveaways, NFT giveaways. That's mostly what we plan to do with them right now.
I mean, with regards to other partnerships, though, I mean, that's specific to Sequoia. But with other partnerships, we do have planned integrations with people like Perplay, Earn Alliance, which are these NFT, and staking applications. So we do have other things in the sideline, not just Sequoia. Sequoia is a very important, community collaboration. And it's not that we can limit ourselves just to that. It's right now at this point in time, it's important that we do what we need now to expand. Later on, once the Defverse app and the API and the games have started to be onboarded within the Defverse platform, we can look at other collaborations or other partnerships or just increasing the level of partnership. But right now, that's where we're at with Sequoia.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for that. Any more questions, guys? We can probably answer 3 more, and then we can read the chat and then answer all their questions. We can just type it as well after because we have around 2 minutes left of this AMA. Yeah.
We have Sherry. If you're trying to talk, dude, I can't actually give. I don't know if you're not connected anymore, but I can't seem to give you token rights. It just says send message. I do have a couple here, John, through the chat. So Ella Jane says, when will the beta be going out? We really can't move if people don't see the new game. To answer that, Ella, the beta is going to be good. It's not beta, it's alpha. So right now we're in pre-alpha state, which basically means we're testing the alpha demo launch. We're building the game itself, and we're testing it within the dev team. Even our internal testing team don't have access to this yet. We aim to get the internal testing done around about late June, early July, once we get the other developer on board and up to speed with the project. I will be working on that in the meantime. And after that, we should see the alpha in kind of your hands, or at least in the closed alpha state, around about August, and with the aim of having an open alpha around late August, early September. Ella also asked, sorry, John, she said, give us, Space Guardians first before jumping to another game. We've been waiting for the game for more than a year. And just on that front, Ella, I'll just say that I didn't want to cross the lines or I don't know if you've misinterpreted what I said, but the Space Guardians Online we need to get that into a complete state before looking at all of these micro games. We're not going to start like diluting our time now. I mean, we may, if we have the funds or the ability, we may bring on other teams of developers to develop little games in the background for us, or third-party developers via freelancer or whatever to test the concept of the API. But as far as Space Guardians goes, it's got our full attention. It needs our full attention for at least the next 12 to 18 months. So yes, it's definitely got that.
Yeah, so I just want to answer some quick questions here. Are you going to be locking the liquidity pair pool? So we are going to be locking it for 2 years, and then obviously we'll renew it more after that 2 years is ended. And there's one more here. How is soft cap not met? Has it been audited? Realistically, I think we are very confident that we will reach way beyond soft cap, since there's a lot more things will be happening throughout, like from now to our IDO stage. We'll have a lot of pull groups, promoting us and all that other types of marketing. But to answer your next question, if the token is audited, yes, we have our token audited by Solid Group. They are a very trusted auditor within the Web3 space. They are actually the same level as Certic, and we paid quite a lot of money to actually get our token contract done. I'm not going to mention how much, but it actually took a hit in our pocket. But we want to secure our security as well, and our code base as well. So we want to try to get a very reputable auditor to do the auditing for us.
I've got another question here, John. Shivu asks, why should I hold the Defverse token after IDO? I mean, most tokens dump after IDO. My fears are we're in a bear market or whales dumping. Can you help me elude my fears?
Well, we are not a meme project. That's a fact. We are a long-term project. We are building something, not just hype. We are building our own product as well, and we have proof of that concept as well. We have proof of documentation or dev blog. I've seen it. I've seen what Garrett's been doing for the past 3 years, and it's a headache to even look at right now. But why you should hold our token is because of the utility of our token. After we actually release the token into our market, we will be rolling out our NFT sales. We will be relaunching that, and we are actually trying to enable it right now. We already have that fixed. We already have everything, but we wanted to migrate to a different NFT contract with less functions that we actually need, to be honest, to lessen the gas fees of buying or even selling our NFTs. That's one of the reason why you should hold our token, is to get in early when we release our NFTs. And just to be clear about this as well, our NFTs isn't, you can't just buy our NFTs like unlimited amounts. We have limited sales of our NFTs. So every 8 weeks, we actually only release 6,600 NFTs. And we call that, I think the first one we're going to be releasing, obviously, it's the season 1 NFTs. So it's going to be very limited. The scarcity of our NFTs are actually, really rare. And, everyone's obviously, if we create a lot of hype within the community, or we do a lot of marketing leading up to our IGO or NFT sales, then we expect to actually sell out. I hope that's the main plan. And 8 weeks later, again, we will be releasing new set of NFTs, different designs, different stories, different lores, and even the Founders Edition as well, right? I can't wait to actually release the next Founders Edition, and that's going to be limited. Sorry.
Go.
No, go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry, no, I was saying the token as well. Like, you've got to understand right now, guys. At the beginning, at this pre-sale, there is no utility to the token yet. It's the planned utility. You guys are going to get in at a pre-sale price, and even if this was a meme coin project, which it isn't, even if it was a meme coin, you're going to get that dip, that drop. It's going to go up and down. It's going to eventually equalize. You're going to have bought in at a point which was going to be below its equalization level or equality level. Once we announce anything, and I mean literally anything, whether it be a closed alpha test or an NFT IGO, or whether it be a preview at the upcoming demo, or whether it be a test run, especially leading up to the open alpha. Once open alpha hits, that token, anybody with half a year's worth of experience or less is going to know that the token's just going to rocket astronomically, because now we have utility. Now you buy our NFTs. Now you buy our in-game services. Now you buy our vanity packs. Now you buy our founders packs. All of this can be done with the Defverse token. Right now, you don't have any utility. It's the planned utility that's going to cause these huge, pumps in the market. And it shouldn't cause any dumps because, well, I mean, it's got utility still, right? Yeah, you're going to get the fluctuation, of course, people who are just looking to take a little bit of profit here and there. But I mean, the actual stability of the token comes from the utility that's planned for the use of the token within our game, and not just our game, in future games and our platform.
Yeah, I think LG is asking as well, why is there no hard cap? Actually, it's a pair launch, so we list our token in Pinksale and then see how much money we can actually raise. But we do have a price in our head how much we actually want to raise. So if we reach that much, we will close the trade and we'll continue from how much from that hard cap that we have. So the only point that we have the pair launch is with no hard cap is we want to maximize the fundraising potential for our project. And essentially, actually, we wanted to, from the beginning, we were contacted with a lot of VCs, with a lot of backers as well. And we decided not to go that route because we wanted our community to actually benefit from our project more than the people who, would eventually invest 50K, 60K, and then we'll just dump the market with even with the vesting schedules as well. We didn't want to do that. We wanted to tackle it in a different way. Compared to many projects with us, VCs with us vesting schedules and stuff. And realistically, after 3 months, 4 months, it happens the same. The token barely 2x, barely 3x because of the massive dumps from those big corporate VCs and angel investors. So we wanted to have the community to benefit more from our project than people who's already on the top. You know what I mean? So yes, it's for you guys.
Also, just to add to that as well, guys, we've never had any private pre-sales neither. So it's literally all just a pair launch. You guys can invest what you like, and you're just against other people like yourselves. There's no huge whale sitting in the wing, not that we're aware of anyway, who are going to buy 50 or 500 BNB and then dump on you later on. So there's that as well. Pablo asks, in what ways, this is actually an interesting question, Pablo, but in what ways do games contribute to society beyond entertainment, according to Defverse's perspective? And that's a very interesting question. the way I see gaming, and I guess this is my opinion, but my opinion as as the developer for Defverse's platform and API, for me, the idea is that games are personally for me, games are my retreat. When I play a game, I play it because I don't want to watch TV. I don't want to sit and watch some Korean soap or some movie from Marvel again. I've watched 500 times. I want to play something interactive with a social element where I can contribute. And I'm an MMORPG type of guy. I've played World of Warcraft for 20 something years. I love progression. I love the ability that my efforts are rewarded and I can showboat a little bit. Yeah, look at me. I've got this brand new glowing fiery sword. In our case, fancy ship that flies and fires lasers. But I like that. That's what entertains me. Now, the Web3 technology and the play to earn or play for reward business models allow me to earn whilst doing that. Now, if you're asking me what ways do games contribute to society beyond entertainment, income. I mean, if you're good at a game, or even if you're not, but you invest your time, along with potential future partnerships such as PerPlay, where you get rewarded from their platform as well as being rewarded from our platform for playing the same game, then it's a win-win, right? And that's just us and PerPlay. There are other systems out there. There are other potential partnerships out there that can bring in a further level of potential income for people out there who A, might not be able to get a job, B, might not want a job, and C, who just want to play games and because, why not earn whilst you're playing? So that, I hope, answers your question from my perspective, at least.
Okay, let me just check some more questions.
We've got one here. How long will it be before we can play? Heon. Again, it's looking about late August, early September. And Angela was asking, can we buy the NFTs now? Not right now. The old NFTs will be migrated to the new contract in the coming month or two. We imagine it's going to be around June before the IGO is launched. When the IGO is launched, you'll have the 6,600 seasonal platform NFTs available at that point. They are limited. They are scarce. The 600 Founders Edition, which estimated to cost about $250 per NFT, and then there's $50 NFTs, which are 6,000 of them. Once they're gone, there will be no more sold until we begin the actual game Play for Rewards, which might be around about competitively and for Play for Reward, probably around September to November, depending on how the development goes. But obviously, all of this is relative to when we onboard developers. If we get funded and in May we hire 3 developers, you might have Play for Rewards by August, September. If it takes us till late June to hire 3 developers, well, then you might not have Play for Rewards until November. It's just, we'll get it to you as quick as we can after testing.
So we have a question here. There are thousands of projects launched in the market today. What is our competitive edge and what makes us different and better than the others?
Do you want to take that or should I take that?
Take it. You are.
I mean, what makes us better is the business model. Like I said before, the play to earn, it's been absolutely hammered by negativity because of rug pulls, unscrupulous people, undoxed projects. Here we are, guys, right up in your face. Pinksale has all of my identification. We're not going nowhere, not without being strung up by every legal system in the world. So, yeah, we're here to stay. What gives us the edge is our business model, our location, especially our registration, our registered company. The fact that we do avoid these taxes, even at the start, is a massive thing because it allows us to give that money that we save directly to the player base. Me personally, aside from the regulars like Axie Infinity, which I keep mentioning, these guys made astronomical amounts of money. But when the token took a hit and the bear market hit, they kept the money and didn't inject any back into the system. They didn't even invest it in hedge funds and, put some of that income generated from them investments back into the community. We do that John can get into the non-web, the non-crypto investments we're getting. We planned to invest in other companies, which would mean that even if the crypto scene takes a huge hit, our income from the non-crypto sales or the USDT sales and the fiat and the battle pass, and as well as our investment in companies outside of crypto, that income that we were getting back then, dividends that are paid, would help support the player and the prize rewards ongoing. And because it's a percentage of our income, well, we're never really giving away more than we can afford, so we can't really go bankrupt. We can only go bankrupt if we mismanage the money. So, as long as we stay on top of that and the finances, we can't go bankrupt because the market crashes. That's what gives us the competitive edge.
Okay. Roadmap. Someone's asking about the roadmap. According to the roadmap, what is your most important next priority? Obviously, the IDO is our most important, centralized exchange listings, and the relaunch of our NFT sales on our decentralized application, and also the pre-alpha launch of Space Guardian as well. That's going to be the most important part for the next several months in this year. I think I lost you there, Gareth.
Yeah. So my camera went off again.
Also,
get a better camera. That's on the roadmap as well.
There's also, that one. There's also a question here from Panpan. If we sell off our IDO, is there a chance it is going to fasten the game development and will release earlier than scheduled? I mean, definitely, money moves everything. So with the right funding, everything will, the progress of our project will increase drastically. So I think to answer your question, yes, obviously, that's 100%.
It's like that age-old question. And like, if you've got one man moving a rock, that one man might take, a day to move a barrel of rocks. You got 10 men moving the same barrel of rocks, it's going to get done 10 times faster. There is a kind of bottleneck. The bottleneck comes when you actually onboard other developers, because you have to train them. You have to, especially from my perspective, my side of the project, I have to kind of familiarize my team with the project. I have to familiarize them with their role in the project. So when we get a UI developer, I need to familiarize them with the UI element. When we get the games or the network engineer, we have to get them involved with that. But once they've got their tasks, it's a case of me just micromanaging each part of the project. I then take a back seat as the lead developer. I take a back seat and give that responsibility to somebody else. And then that allows me to start looking at other projects or other parts of the project, like creating the API. Now, the API was always meant to be done after the Space Guardians Alpha launch and the Play for Rewards. But if I can have somebody working on the API and then have somebody developing the network in mobile, and I can have somebody developing the scholarship system simultaneously, well, I mean, of course, it's exponential, right? It makes it so much more productive. And, in short, that 6 to 12 month period becomes 3 to 6 months.
Yeah, I mean, I consider Garrett as a 3-man, man moving around.
I feel like a 3-man team sometimes.
He is, he's been doing a lot of coding in the background throughout the bear market. So hats off to him. He's actually done, and he's actually learned so much about, the Unity as well, which is...
Yeah, I've got to be honest, I was actually new to Unity. So for you guys who don't know much about, Unity engine, I'm a C++ programmer, so I've got like 15 years in C++ programming. I had to learn C#. So I had to migrate from C++ to C#. I had to learn Unity. I had to learn Photon. I had to learn all of the, not just the engine, but I had to learn how to code alongside the engine, dealing with packages and all of these other things. And each package has its own API or its own set of instructions and integration and documentation. So the task is actually, when you look at it as a whole, it's just a massive jumble of information, and you've really got to collate it and collect it and process it independent of each other, and then you have to, you've got to integrate it together as well. That's just, it's been crazy. It's been a roller coaster, but we're here, and I've got 2 years of knowledge with Unity under my belt now, and I'm hoping to bring on people with more knowledge than I have. I'm hoping to hire people who can teach me more. So I'll take a back seat as a more like a project, coordinator, and allow the people with better or more expertise than I've got to take the helm and really improve the quality of the current code base and essentially its efficiency. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
So I'm gonna answer one more question. Is our NFT available to purchase right now? Not yet, but we do have already integrated. We already have our NFT contract ready. It's just, we want to actually put that aside right now. We don't want you guys to go there and then just purchase our NFTs. We want to create some hype towards our NFT sales. And that's one thing that we can release after our IDO, which will eventually help us out with, with our marketing as well. So, we've actually went past the 12 o'clock. So we actually have a meeting in 10 minutes. So we'll have to stop there and we'll answer more questions here on our Telegram group. Our mods can answer that, some obvious one as well. But I think that should be enough for today. And, I really thank you guys for, tuning in and listening to us talk, more of Garrett talking. Thank you guys. I shall see you maybe in our next AMA just before our IDO. We will open the voice chat. We'll be there throughout our IDO. Do you want to say your...
Again, guys, we're here. I mean, John's there most of the time. I'm here most of the time. If you can't catch our mods, which is pretty much impossible, they're always there. If you've got a specific question for us, then by all means, hit us up. We're completely contactable. Right now, because development is on a pause or a hiatus, just until we get through the IDO stage, up until the end of April, I'm going to be pretty much contactable 16 to 20 hours a day. After that, personally, I'll be focusing on the development, so John will be your point of contact from there. But yeah, anything you want, or if you've got any potential partnership suggestions, then by all means, we're always open to discussion. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in.
Sorry, I just want to mention something. So we are actually giving a giveaway right now, airdrop right now for $100, split between 5 people. And one of the requirements is actually take a screenshot of you being here in the AMA. So if you want, you can just take a screenshot right now so you're eligible for that airdrop. We'll give you guys 1 minute.
Yeah, guys, get a pretty shot. Okay, I'll give you my good side. Oh my goodness, it's been a productive one. I like this.
We have a meeting in 8 minutes and we haven't fully prepared yet.
We do. We've done no preparation for that meeting. We've just come off of a meeting with Perplay before that. It's all go. And we've only had 3 hours sleep. Yeah, that's
3 hours.
That's fun too.
You have to submit the screenshot not on our Telegram group, on TaskOn. There's a task there to submit the image, not on our Telegram, because it does it automatically for us. Yeah.
As long as you've got the image, just take a screenshot now, guys, and then just go through the TaskOn process. It's just going to ask you to provide that screenshot. Money, dollar, money. So let's just let's get it all.
Okay, so actually this should eventually help us out finally getting the docs badge from Pinksale. Really hopeful.
Yeah. We've got over 270 members in the Telegram. We've got, let me see, what is it? Facebook. I've got at least 30 or 40 people asking questions there. Sorry, guys. The guys who've a lot of people on the Facebook have inboxed me. I will answer those questions after the AMA. I just can't type at the same time, I'm afraid. And I know a lot of them aren't going to be listening to the voice chat because they're just asking questions.
All right, guys. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you again before the IDO, and actually, we'll be having some more AMAs from different communities as well on the way. And I'll make sure to announce that as well on our social media.
Oh, and we'll be doing our big Pinksale one later on in the month, guys. Probably around about
We'll
the
have
15th.
we will have an AMA in the actual Pinksale Telegram group, which is massive. You know, they have like 2,000, over 3,000 sometimes online members there watching. So that should be something. That should be good.
It's good advertising.
Yeah, it is really. But more questions for us though. Okay, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'll see you later on, and we'll answer some of your questions on our Telegram group as well after our meeting.
Yeah. Cheers, guys. Thank you. See you in the next one.